What's up, guys? We are not going to waste any time today. I've got 4 super important tips for you to build more muscle. These are things that you should avoid. I'm going to show you the mistakes that you might be making and how you can implement these 4 tips to help you build more muscle and just create a more effective plan. Before we hop into the video, guys, this month we are doing a free custom plan for one lucky winner. So you can sign up for free, and at the end of the month, we're going to select one lucky winner. You're going to give us your goals. You're going to give us the things that you want to work on, and we're going to customize a specific tailored workout program to you. So in order to sign up for this, we have a form on our website. I left the link in the comments in the description below. So after you're done watching this video, if you'd like a free custom program for an entire month, make sure that you go fill out this form, register. Like I said, at the end of the month, one lucky winner is going to get a super awesome tailored workouts that is customized just for them. So if you're interested, go sign up. With that said, let's hop into the 4 muscle building acts that you need to be implementing in your program to effectively build more muscle. So this list cannot be a list of building muscle. We cannot talk about muscle if we're not going to talk about this first thing. And the first thing is you need to overload. Now, I've talked about this so many times, so many videos, and it is so important. That's why I keep talking about it. But I'm going to kind of dive in a little bit deeper on what specific exercises overload, what to focus on when you're overloading, making sure that we're not just adding weight and reps for the sake of adding weight and reps. Overloading your muscles is one of the most foundational things that we can do to consistently place a stimulus on your muscle to grow and grow back stronger and bigger. And if we're coming into the gym and we're doing the same workout every single time, same exercises, same sets, same reps, same rest time, everything's the same, it's awesome. That's consistent. You're going to see great health benefits. But at some point, your body's going to be very accustomed to this. And that's why we have to constantly be looking for new ways to progress and progressively overload by using more weights, more reps over the course of time. We don't want to lift the same weight today that we're lifting 6 months from now, that we're lifting a year from now. There has to be some sort of progression, and progressive overload and adding weight reps is one of the most foundational things that you can do to consistently place the stimulus on your muscle to grow. Now, one big key factor with this is we want to make sure that we're adding weight to all exercises, primarily the compound movements, things like bench press, deadlifts, squats, overhead press, lunges, those big compound movements. But there still is a lot of ability to overlook isolation exercises like leg extensions, lateral raises, bicep curls, tricep pushdowns, all sorts of stuff like that. So still focus on getting stronger over the course of time. But the one caveat that I want you to focus on is make sure that we're not just adding weight and sacrificing the form. So say that you can do a bench press with 100 pounds, add 105 pounds, and you're shipped in and your hips are coming up and you use all sorts of other muscle groups. That's not the proper way to overload. We want to make sure that if we're getting stronger, we're actually able to lift the weights with the same form that we did the previous time. We're actually getting stronger and our muscles are getting bigger because of that. So if you're adding weight, that's great. Just make sure that you never sacrifice your form. The second muscle hack that I want to talk about that you can add into your training that's going to help you place a stimulus, it's going to help you build more muscle, is taking advantage of time under tension. Again, to the point that I made in my first tip where I talked about overload, and a lot of times people are coming to the gym and they'll just add weight. They'll just throw around weight, point A to point B, and that's great. But we want to make sure that we're using the correct muscle group and that we're actually breaking down the muscle tissue. Because during the workout, there's no muscle tissue being built. It's that 24 to 72 hours after the workout where we actually build muscle tissue. So taking the time to slow down your reps, this is a great thing that you can add into your program that is going to further place an emphasis on your muscle to break down more muscle tissue and build back stronger. This can work both on your compound movements like bench press and squats. This can also work on your isolation movements. And it tends to work a little bit better with isolation, but like I said, you could do it on either or. And the way that you're going to do this is you're always going to slow down the eccentric. So you're not going to see as much benefit if you slow down the concentric. So that's when you're lifting the weight. So say for a bench press, the eccentric is where you're lowering that weight to your chest. That is what you're going to keep slow. You're going to try to have a really explosive concentric. By doing a bench press where you're doing 3 to 4 second eccentrics, 1 second pause, 1 second up, that's going to be a lot harder and it's going to cause a lot more muscle breakdown specifically to the chest than if we just move weight from point A to point B. So yes, we want to focus on getting stronger. We want to overload our muscles and make sure that we're using the right muscles with good form, but you can also use time under tension to sprinkle in a little bit more stimulus to mix things up and just elicit some new muscle growth. Like I said, this can work well with a lot of isolation exercises, bicep curls, lateral raises, tricep pushdowns. Exercises where it might be a little bit harder to add 5 pounds. So say, for example, with a lateral raise, you're not going to be lateral raising 80 pounds unless you're running. So the focus is you need to add reps, you need to increase time and retention. There's a lot of ways you could still overload the lateral raise to help develop bigger shoulders and grow bigger shoulders without just always adding weights. Because at some point, you're going to sacrifice form, you're going to sacrifice quality, and you're not going to stimulate the muscle as much as you need for it to grow. My third tip that I want to talk about, this is something that I love to use towards the back half to the end of the workout. I really use as a finisher. And this is something I want to talk about that's called conflicting pairing. Typically, when you do a superset, you do a push and a pull. So say if you're going to do a bench press and pull-up, while you're bench pressing, your pull-up muscles are resting. And while you're doing a pull-up, your bench press muscles are resting. So they're antagonist muscle groups. Conflicting pairing takes that on its head, and it pairs two of the same muscle groups together. So this could be things like a bench press and a push-up. This could be something like a squat and a leg extension. This could be something where you're doing two different pull-up grips, or a pull-up and a straight-arm pull-down. This is a great way that, again, you can place a lot of overload and muscle breakdown on muscle. And it's a great thing you can really use on the back half of the workout when you've already worked on strength work to really use as a finisher to just break down your muscle tissue, leave the gym, feel like you really left it all out there. You can do compound movements like this, but typically what you're going to want to do is stick to more isolation-based exercises. So say, for example, you're doing a chest workout. You've done a heavy bench press, you've done some incline dumbbell bench press, maybe you've done some chest dips. Now what you can do is go over to a cable machine, and you can pair a cable fly with a cable press. Both chest-based movements, both isolation movements is really going to target the chest and place more stimulus than if you just do one or the other. So like I said, that's just one example. You could pair a leg press and a leg extension together. You could pair a lat pull down and a straight arm lat pull down. You could pair a reverse fly and a lateral raise and a front raise, shoulder-based movements. The sky's really the limit, and you can get really creative with this. But again, it's just another thing that you could sprinkle in your training to place some overload. At the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do, is find just little ways that we can put a little bit more emphasis on our body and a little bit more stimulus so that we can just keep making progress. Because you can come to the gym for 5 years and lift the same weights. That's awesome. You can see great health benefits from that. But you could potentially build zero muscle over the course of that time. So you have to be really competitive with yourself. You have to come in with the mentality that you're going to try to do just 1% more than you did last time. And that's what's going to help you build muscle by using these techniques that we're talking about today. My fourth and final muscle hack that I want to talk about, and this is something that I think some people use too little or too much in their training. And this is our past failure techniques. These are things like drop sets, rest pause sets, partial reps, things that you can use to take your muscles past failure. And these are great additions to your training. But again, you want to use things sparingly, and I would use these towards the end of your workout, towards the back half of your workout. Focus on the first half of your workout really being on strength and overload and getting stronger. And then as you get away from compound movements and more into isolation movements, this is where you can really ramp up your intensity by using techniques like drop sets, rest pause sets, and partial reps. Drop sets, what you typically want to do is you want to drop the weight by at least 30% of what you did. So say, for example, you're doing a pec deck fly, where's 100 pounds, then you would drop it to 70 pounds and immediately go right back to failure. Rest pause set is saying that you do that same pec deck fly. Say if you get 10 reps, that's muscle failure. Take 2 or 3 deep breaths, just sit up for like 10 to 15 seconds, go right back to and see if you can get another 4, 5, 6 reps. You're pushing past failure. Partial reps, same thing. Say you're on that pec deck fly, you get 10 reps, 10 full reps, and then you go to do partial reps where you go to that end range and you're just trying to pump maybe 5 to 10 extra reps. All 3 of these techniques are great ways to add more stimulus to your muscle, break down more muscle tissue, and help you stimulate new muscle growth. But again, it can't be every set, it can't be every exercise, it can't be all workout long, because at the end of the day, there's only so much that your body can recover from. Use these things sparingly. They're definitely great additions to add to your training. These are things that I love to add towards the end of the workout to just really leave the gym feeling like, man, I really crushed it. I left it all there. I placed the stimulus on my muscles to grow today, so I know that I checked the box and I got 1% better today. Like I said, at the end of the day, all these techniques are just little things that you can sprinkle into your training that are going to spice it up, that are going to keep it fun, but they're also going to keep placing that stimulus on your muscles to grow. And if you just come in, you do the same thing over and over and over again, you're not going to see the progress that you want. You're going to be really frustrated, and you might run the risk of putting on zero muscle mass, losing zero body fat, making zero improvement over the course of 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. That's definitely what we don't want to do. So if you guys have comments or questions on training, I would love to help out any way that I can. And like I said, we are doing this month that whole free customized program. So if you'd like to sign up, the link is in the comments in the description below. It's free to sign up. We're just looking to help out one lucky winner to really just put a program together and just help them see awesome results. So thanks for tuning in, guys. If that's helpful, hit that thumbs up button for me. Go check out these videos next, and I'll see you guys